Hello everyone, I'm that Amy girl, and right now I'm standing outside of the Reister house, as you can see from the plaque, built by John Reister. Now, this is not a small town, but it is part of Maryland Main Street and Main Street America accredited. So we're going to take a look at it today, and it is where I grew up. So I guess welcome to my hometown. So we're gonna go over here to the Welcome Center, at least I am, and we're gonna check it out because finally I have been able to be here on a day when it is open. Because my schedule, if you don't already know, is quite crazy. So welcome to my world and welcome to historic Reisterstown. Won't you please come on in? And then just outside the museum center, of course, there's another historical plaque. And as it says they are open, we are going to head in. The Reisterstown Main Street Welcome Center relocated to its current location at 234 Main Street. This was the home of Philip Reister, who was the son of Reisterstown's founder, John Reister, and a veteran of the Revolutionary War. It is one of the oldest surviving structures in Reisterstown. At one time, it served as a tavern, which was a social hub for the community. Alright, so I have left the Welcome Center and crossed the street. I walked down a ways. It's going to be quite noisy because, once again, this is not really a small town. This is quite a busy area. Look at that house, that's awesome. So right now I'm just going to walk a little of the main street. I don't know that I'm going to walk all of it. I'm going to walk a little bit and talk to you about some of it, some of the shops that are there, as I usually do. But there's so much history here. I'll be talking a lot more about the history here than I have previously. And partially because this is my hometown and it's really neat to learn more about the places I've driven past so many times and never thought much about it. Okay, so I'm going to come up on some things here I'd like to show you. There's some artwork coming up. And across the street there. Now, I spent quite a bit of time there in the Welcome Center talking. You know how much I enjoy chatting and getting to know people and learning new things. I've always said that the greatest resource is not the internet, it's people. I told my kids that. I've told my students that in the past. And learning things from people who already know all these awesome things that you'd like to learn about. It's one of my favorite things to do. And just getting to know people. Like I said, it's quite noisy here. Alright, now we're going to come up on this really, really cool place. You can probably see a little bit of already. It's past the trees here. And this is the Maryland Horse Education Center. So inside they have basically a library of information about horse and horse racing history. But this is the building. This mural is really, really cool, and you'll see the artist information in the left hand corner of your screen. I don't want to mispronounce anyone's name. Back there is the barn. Oh, there we go. And so the elephant's trunk, that's where the mural was, is, as you can see, a consignment shop. Now, a lot of these buildings have significant history as well. Many of them will have plaques on them. The town has been working hard to get the information out. They have plaques on the street where you can get information and read information as well as you're walking along Main Street here. Because you can see over there, I'm gonna just zoom in on it a little bit. Right there, there's information about things that are going on around town. And right next to that, the church, United Methodist Church there. School of Art inside there. Yeah, it looks like the snowball stand is open. It's not quite hot enough today to grab a snowball, but for me at least, I see some people are. As I'm walking here, as I mentioned, they have these in different locations. I believe they call it the Heritage Trail, where you can walk and learn information about the town. And the town began as a Great Wagon Road, or known as a Great Wagon Road. So it tells you that information about John Reister, who bought more than 100 acres along this road in the 1750s and 1760s, and he built a house and tavern and sold lots to encourage growth. And before his death in 1804, he gave land to houses to his children. So the Welcome Center is actually, or was actually, the home of Philip Reister, which is one of John Reister's 6 children. And I'm going to show you from across the street. So from across the street, hang on, there's a couple cars that are going to pass by. That's the first house I was standing in front of. There's some information plaque there. And next to that is the Welcome Center, which was Philip Reister's house, as I mentioned. We have more shops of relics of old antiques, farmhouse furnishings in there. The Baltimore T-shirt company. And there's a really cool mural on the back here, actually on both sides. I'm gonna go around this way. go across a little bit so you can see the full mural. And again, I'll put the artist information in the left-hand corner there. Oh, that's interesting. It says Hobbs Hotel. And that's interesting because some of my family are Hobbs. I'll have to look into that one. And it also gives you some history there. That is amazing. I wish I had this sort of artistic expertise. I'm gonna show you across the street. From across the street, there's someone coming up behind me, so I'm gonna get out of the way. Another windy day in Reisterstown. Okay, there's another mural here. It's a little covered up by vehicles. And I'm gonna walk up here. Like I said, I'm probably not gonna walk all of Main Street. This is a good distance. So there are other things I want to show you as well. I just want to show you like kind of the homes, the shops. Okay. That's the pre-K over there. And I see they have the library, little, you take one, leave one library over there across the street, which is one of my favorite things. I love those. And up here, if you're looking for ice cream, they have the Cow. They also have Italian ice and custard. Alright, I'm going to show you this really quick. Once again, they have more information about what's going on around town. Have you noticed these along the way? I'll talk about those in a minute. And that's the Cow. It's not really warm enough for ice cream, so we will skip the Cow for today. Across the street though, it's a great place for coffee. The Reister's Daughter. The Reister's Daughter is the home of Mary Reister Beckley, another of John Reister's children. And now it is a great coffee shop. And I have to tell you, a very busy one. I was in there earlier working on my Substack with my mocha and a breakfast bagel. Now the mocha syrup is made in-house. A lot of their drinks and teas are made in-house, which I think is amazing, and a lot of local ingredients. Again, really cool. So it's definitely a great place to stop by. And I will say it's way more happening than I would have thought. It's very busy in there, but a very great place to kind of just sit down, work on any projects you might be working on, have some breakfast and a coffee. It's a really great place. Alright, I'm gonna go up here. This is probably as far as I'm gonna go up here. And now I will tell you that up further there are some more shops. I know there's a comic book store up there. There's also another consignment shop up there called Where It's At, further up the road here. I'm not gonna go that far. I want to show you this over here. Just a little bit covered by the trees at the moment, so I'm just going to keep going until it's a little more clear what we're looking at. Although you may be able to see it better than I can. This screen is so small. Sometimes when I'm editing, I realize you guys saw what I was looking at as I was looking at it sometimes. Not always. And this is Franklin Middle School. I did attend school here in my middle school days. And if it looks familiar, it's probably because you saw the John Waters film, Crybaby, which was filmed here while I was a student at Franklin Middle School. And I remember all of us standing across the street, almost where I'm at now, waiting to get a glimpse of one Johnny Depp. I don't even know. I didn't even know really who he was, to be honest. And I won't say that I'm a big fan still, but yeah. The filming location, or one of the filming locations, or one of the filming locations of John Waters' Crybaby, right here. And on the other side of the street across from the middle school is this building, which is the Fisher House. Now, there's a plaque right over here which tells you the Fisher House was a shoemaking house during the Revolution, and there's a historical plaque there marking its significance. Now I have once again crossed the street, and again there's more history here. Right, and I'm just walking up past Reisterstown. This is Cocky's Mill Road. I had to look back just to make sure I wasn't saying the wrong road, but I was right. Cocky's Mill Road. And behind Reisterstown here, there's more of Franklin Middle School across the street. And there's a little park area. And again, another plaque here with historic information talking about Reister's Desire, the road that shaped a town. Now, it says Reisterstown, the elongated layout is no accident. In 1758, Johannes John Reister recognized the promise of living along a road that connected fertile farmland to a young port town. The German immigrant settled here with his family, acquiring 100 acres of prime real estate. Others followed, all seeking property facing the road. The blend of homes and businesses we see today once served travelers to and from Baltimore. Reisterstown became a bustling village, a small town, and today a growing suburb. So like I said, we are no longer a small town. Back here, you'll see another plaque about our high school. It is the oldest high school here in Baltimore County. It was originally founded in 1820. And I had a few family members who graduated from there and some friends. I did not. Now this artwork, again, I'll put the artist's name in the left-hand corner here, is just reminiscent of the history. It is called the Wheels of Time, so you'll notice the wagon wheels. Which are just part of the history of the wagon road. Speaking of wagon wheels, I mentioned earlier the wagon wheels that we have passed. I mentioned one. You might have seen a couple as I was walking along. And those are by the same artist. And those are meant to be bike racks, but also, again, reminiscent of the history of the town. Back here, as I'm still walking through Reister's Desire Park, you come up to the cemetery. Now, I have learned in my research that in this cemetery, hundreds of military veterans are buried, ranging from Revolutionary War to World War II. Just think about that much history for a second. All here in this cemetery. Well, I'm not going to go in, but I do want to tell you that also in that cemetery is the grave of one John Reister, his family members, and the founder of a nearby town called Owings Mills as well. To think that I've driven past that much history most of my life is pretty amazing. Now there is one last thing I want to show you before we leave Reisterstown today. Oh, and by the way, I said it kind of the way the natives say it, Reisterstown, but it's Reisterstown technically. Can you tell I'm from here? So this is Franklin Woodland Trails. As you can see, I'm going to go the red trail. This is back behind the library, across the street from the middle school, and a little past the cemetery, sort of in between the cemetery and the library. This is the story trail, and as you can see, this right now is showing that the book will be The Busy Tree. I got distracted by the sign. The woodwork is awesome. So we'll walk through here for a few moments and I'll look at the story and share a little bit of it with you. And then we will wrap up our day here in Reisterstown. Franklin Woodland Trails can be accessed just off Main Street. It offers a fun educational play section for the kids, a story trail, and a beautiful walk through nature. It is a perfect short getaway for nature lovers. Thanks so much for watching. If you would like to support the channel, there is a link in the description to buy me a coffee. There is another video already in the works. Hope you'll check it out. Until then, go chase your dreams. Again, it's definitely not cold enough for ice cream in my opinion. I mean, warm enough. What in the world? What in the world? It's definitely not warm enough for ice cream.